Hello, everybody. Wake up, shake up. It's time to get going. It's the Diane in the Morning Show here on the Home Business Radio Network. Guys, welcome to the dog days of summer. I don't know about where you live, but it's like 100 some odd degrees out today, and it is hot, it is sticky, it is steamy, and quite frankly, I'm cranky. Ever since I was a little girl, as soon as it started to get hot, I was like, I'll stay inside. My mother would be like, don't you want to go out and play? Don't you want to go swimming? Don't you want to go in the sprinkler? And I was like, no, I'll stay inside and watch TV because I just don't enjoy the heat. But I do enjoy the summer because it's such a great time to be working, put your nose to the grindstone, get so much done, And of course, it's a great time to be taking the Home Business Radio Network with you where we have positive powered radio. If you haven't been over to homebusinessradionetwork.com and grabbed your, what do they call these things? App. See, I'm 45 years old. I don't know what they call them. I just know what they do. Your app for your smartphone so that you can take the radio network with you. You absolutely want to do that. That way, while you're out at the beach and playing by the pool, you can still be catching the shows and the music, which is pretty darn awesome. Double duty, you know what I'm saying? And I myself am a big fan. I'm leaving tomorrow for Mexico, for Cancun, one of the company incentive trips I've won. And I'm excited because, believe it or not, I want to do work down there. It sounds crazy, but I'm not being a sun person. I get to sit, under a palapa or something, poolside or on the beach. I don't know if I can get internet down there, but we'll see. And I can sit there with, a nice fruity drink, a nice umbrella, ocean breeze, doing some work and having some fun. And then as the sun starts to calm down a little bit, I'll come out and play. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Double dip and get your work done while you're having fun. Ain't nothing like it. And of course, if you haven't heard, we have a brand new widget. You can add it right to your WordPress site, right to your website, so that your visitors can access the radio station right through your site. So they can hang out, read your stuff, and listen to some tunes and some training all at the same time. Very, very cool. All of that is at the home businessradionetwork.com. And me, of course, you can always find me at dianehochman.com. If you haven't learned it yet, it's Hochman. And then I'm always looking for you guys over on Twitter. Tweet me out. Thank you, all of you that have been sending me shout outs. I appreciate you guys. It's twitter.com/Diane Hochman or at Diane Hochman if you're an avid Twitter user. You can also find me at Facebook at facebook.com/Diane Hochman training. So let's get down to some business today. I have so much I want to talk to you about. I was having a discussion with someone, and I've done shows about attending events and how important they are, and I've done shows about, edifying and all this other stuff, and if you haven't caught them, go back, find the archives. But today I want to talk about, your team will only do as much as you do. Your team will only go in as much as you go in. And if you're not all in, your team's not going to be all in. You can't expect them to do more than you. You can't expect them to be more committed than you. It's interesting because there's a myth in this industry, for people that are working multi-level programs. I know not everybody, I have a multifaceted home business. Some of the facets are multi-level. Some of them are completely not affiliate things, as well as my own products. But anything that's multi-level, there's like this myth or this fantasy. I suppose it's no different than the lottery fantasy that we're going to recruit one heavy hitter. We're just going to run into them in the coffee shop or something, and we're going to say, hey, if I could show you a way, blah, blah, blah. You're going to show them a presentation. They're going to sign up. The guy's going to run rampant, and then you get to retire to an island and sip out of a coconut. Now, is it possible? Some people have done very well because they happen to be lucky enough to recruit the right person. But most marketing plans out there are designed that you have to pull your own weight. So the chances of you recruiting one guy and retiring to an island is not that big, okay? So I really want you to be clear. And the reality is, the chances of you recruiting strong people in the first place is not that big unless you yourself are truly committed. So what does this mean? It means, guys, that if you have products with your program, and you've heard this before, but it can't be said enough. You are a product of the product. And let me say it again. You become a product of the product. If you are health and wellness, and you are selling health and wellness, you need to be taking those products, smearing them all over you, whatever it is you're selling, you need to be using them every day. You need to not be using competing products in your household. You need to be picking up the products from your company and using them so that you can give testimony to the effectiveness of the product, okay? If you are selling travel, you need to be traveling, taking pictures, doing, posts and blogs and Facebooks about all the places that you're going. Be a product of the product. If you're selling household goods, a lot of people sell household goods. You want to be using those products and document for people how you're using the products in your household, what you're doing with them, etc. People will only do what you do. If you guys, I work very heavily in internet marketing, social media marketing, and attraction marketing. And, I work with different organizations, and I am a product of the product. I do not deviate. A lot of people talk about it, but they don't practice it, okay? And so if your mouth is saying one thing, if your mouth is saying buy my stuff or do it my way or I have this answer, but your results, you can't, if your results don't show the fruit, if you're not a product of the product, then you're going to have a lot of problems. Now, let me caveat and sidebar, okay? Let me be clear. If you're brand new, like let's say you're selling weight loss and you're brand new and you're on the product your first week and you started, kind of overweight, nobody expects you to lose 50 pounds in a day or anything like that. But if you've been on the product for a year and you're still not making progress, well, your results stand to speak. If you're teaching people, you're on the internet busy telling people about how to get leads. I love everybody goes, how to get leads chasing you, become the hunted, not the hunter. These are all old headlines, that have been around for a long time. And everybody uses them and everybody screams about them. But if you don't have a list, granted, if you're brand new, you shouldn't have a big list. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people a week when you're getting started, and then you learn how to increase that. But if you've been around the block for 2 years and you don't have any traction, you got a problem because you're not walking the walk. And people, again, you cannot attract the kind of people you want unless you are doing the do. Okay? You want to become a doer. You want to become a winner. You want to become somebody who's dedicated. Guys, and this can be done. Part-time, full-time. A lot of people think, I can't do that. Your mindset, as Zig Ziglar said, stinking thinking, man. If your mindset is saying, I can't because, or yeah, but, Mr. But, Mr. But, Mr. But. Yeah, but you can do that because you're full-time. Yeah, but you can do that because you're this. Yeah, but you can do that because you're that. Guys, that's your mind messing with you. One of the other hosts here who's a great friend of mine, I'm going to be seeing him tomorrow on the beaches of Cancun, the great Ray Higdon. Guys, the guy had no technical ability, no background, all this other stuff that he didn't have. He was in financial straits, bad times. And the guy in 2 years went from a nobody to one of the kings of the online MLM marketing industry. Okay, kings. And everybody would go, yeah, but this, yeah, but that, yeah, but this. Not Ray, okay? Me, I was a housewife. I didn't know how to run a computer. I had 2 kids, one under each arm. I was fat. I was tired. I was broke. I had no money. I can show you stories like this over and over and over and over and over in the industry. In fact, if you go through all the top people, now some of them are pretty dramatic. They lived in a car. They were homeless on the beach. They were this, they were that. Guys, I was never any of those things. I was just a chubby housewife, truthfully. But if you look around, all the yeah buts that you have in your mind, none of them work. Those reasons don't work because I can show you person after person after person that's overcome every yeah but that you might have. So, the question becomes, what's your story? What's your excuse? What's your drama? Everybody's got drama. I got it, even at this level, we all do. I can't do that because yeah, but. The question comes down to, how committed are you to your business? So 1, we talked about being a product of the product, okay? Critical. If you're not there yet, decide today You're going to finish the show. You're going to turn off the computer for a minute, and you're going to go get on those products, whatever they are. And when I say get on them, some people are eating them or smearing them on themselves, but other people, you have a product that you sell that you don't know how to run or use. If you're doing online stuff, I have a lot of people that sell, technical stuff, don't know how to use it. Well, gee, no wonder why you're having a problem. So make a commitment today. Make yourself a sign. I am a product of the products. Nobody can knock me down because I know my product works. See, if you don't know your product works in your heart and your soul, you're going to get knocked down. People are going to poke you and you're going to fall right over. So that. 2, I show up. What does that mean? You should write that one down too. 1, I'm a product of the products. 2, I show up. What does that mean? A lot of people will listen to me today, 13 years later, and they go, but I can't talk like you, Diane. You just sit down and you go. Wind her up and she goes. Put her on a stage and she goes. Put her on a radio show. Thank you, Doug Firebaugh. Put her on a radio show and she goes. Because you don't understand, I couldn't do this at the beginning. I could barely say my own name. Hi, my name is Diane, and I got started on the products a week ago, and, I could barely give a testimonial. I certainly couldn't do a training, and I certainly couldn't do a presentation. But the reason why I learned is because I showed up. Which means if there was a meeting going on, my butt was in the chair. If there was a webinar, well, we didn't have webinars back then, but if there was a conference call, I showed up. If there was a tape to listen to, I popped it in. Yes, they were cassette tapes back then. I'm old. What can I tell you guys, okay? If there was an event, I was there, whether it was regional, whether it was national, whether I've been to international events when I had business reason to go. If there was something going on, I showed up. Now, there's 2 things that'll make things change for you in your business, and only 2. It's really simple. It's repetition and emotion. You can write that down if you want. Repetition and emotion. So by sheer fact of showing up, I was getting both. Because I was getting the repetition of hearing the presentation over and over and over. I heard the training over and over and over. I could do these presentations and trainings in my sleep, hanging from my toes, blindfolded, anywhere you took me, any circumstances that there were. I could do it with slides, without slides, on a napkin, on a train, could you, with a fox, could you, in a box, could you, here or there, could you, anywhere. How many of you guys are moms that have read that Green Eggs and Ham 10,000 times? So it was the repetition that caused the information to go into me by osmosis. By the way, once you've learned how to masterfully present one thing, it transfers into anything else. That's why master marketers tend to move from, they're able to, new product comes out. Why do the big people at the companies, new product comes out, they don't need information sheets and all this other stuff. They know how to present it instantly because they've learned through osmosis how to present, so therefore it becomes very natural to them. So 1, repetition, and then 2, the emotion, guys, the stories. I don't know how many times I've sat with tears streaming down my cheeks. There's a woman and she rode to deliver her product on a donkey in Mexico, and now she's a multimillionaire. And I'm poking fun a little bit, but I'm not, because that's absolutely a true story at the company that I grew up in. But at the same time, there was always like a great story, and they tell it time and time again. It was that emotion, the mother who's reunited with her children, the family that's able to be together, the people that went from, absolutely dead broke, the people who didn't lose their house because of this, the people who took the product and got their health back. So, the internet stories about the person who started, I'm thinking of one of my buddies right now. He was living in his van, and now he's running a huge program. So those stories, what happens is they inspire and they evoke emotion. Emotion creates belief. Okay? Emotion creates belief. So by sheer virtue of showing up, even if you just sit there and doodle your thumbs, when you show up, it's all going into you. And as it goes into you, you become stronger and stronger and stronger until all of a sudden you're like a rock. Nobody can ding you. Nobody can knock you down. Nobody can say boo. And you get a little swagger. Okay, you got a little swagger because you know that you got the cookie. You're looking for people that are looking for you. You know, the old, next type of thing. So you gotta be on the product, using the product to be a product of the product, and you gotta show up. Everything on top of that, there's 2 simple steps to growing your business for the rest of this year. If you did those 2 simple things, your business would go to the moon. And then, here's the exciting part. The exciting part is then invite others. You be the poster child, and then you invite others to be a product of the product. And you invite them to show up. What happens is over time, you get more and more and more people on the products getting results, which means you have more and more and more stories and testimonials. You get more and more and more people showing up because you show up. So you can't expect them to show up if you don't show up. So they start showing up. They get inspired. They get repetition. They get emotion. They turn into rocks. And, you get 1 rock, you're doing pretty good. You get 2 rocks, you're cruising. If you find 5 rocks, develop them, I should say, because you're not going to find them. If you develop 5 rocks in your business, you are making 6 figures. Period. I'll bet you a banana. Okay, there's no way. If you develop 5 rocks that are on those products, using those products, getting results day in, day out, products of the products, and they show up day in, day out, repetition, emotion, going in through osmosis, and you find 5 and develop them, it's a done deal. Now, if you're a new school internet type like me, you might listen to this and you might go, yeah, I'm working a launch and I'm making the money and this and that and the next thing, okay? And this is what I have to say to you. There's some things about some of the traditional ways that people have been taught to do business that, quite frankly, I don't like, I don't espouse, and I don't promote. Okay, I don't think that network marketing, I'm very proud of this profession, and I don't think that this business should be a business of pestering people and solicitation and annoying people. When done professionally and correctly, it's a beautiful, incredible business, okay? So I don't like some of the stuff that some people are still teaching people to do. I think it's goofy, okay? But on the flip side, there is huge wisdom in what I just said to you. And it's not my wisdom by far. This was passed to me, and it was passed to others by people that walked before them. I've been studying the history and the legacy of this industry. I've read, the books for Jim Rohn's mentor and Jim Rohn's mentor's mentor, and, back far, far, far. And I could talk to you about William Penpatrick, and I can talk to you about, Dare to be Great. And if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, please tweet me at DianeHochman.com and tell me that you're a freak of the industry and you know what these things are. Shout out to Ron Henley if you happen to be hearing this. You know what I'm talking about. But for the rest of you guys, there's wisdom in this. A lot of the younger generation, I don't mean young in age, but the internet marketing generation, they've lost sight of this. So what happens is they've created marketing funnels. They've created offers. They've become masterful at those aspects of lead generation, etc. But they've lost the essence of building people. They've lost the essence that the average person needs this type of repetition. The average person needs this type of emotion to move them, to keep them in the game. The average person needs something to hang on to, needs something to believe in, needs, that's it, reason to believe. So it's not just about, guys, one of my mentors said something to me a while ago, which is, again, a lot of times I listen to him and I thought he was very cynical. I know now with years of experience. It's like being a kid and your mom tells you something and your dad tells you something and you think, it's like ridiculous and you don't understand it until you have children of your own. That's where I am now. My mentor said things to me 6 and 7 years ago that I thought sounded a little jaded or whatever, and now I understand with the volume of the business I'm doing. He said that most people peak the day they sign the application. Most people peak the day they sign the application. What did he mean? He meant the day that somebody signs up or makes a purchase, they're actually getting a thrill out of that experience, out of taking out their credit card and making the purchase. But a lot of people won't get up the next morning and use what they bought and or run the business that they invested in. They got excited by the potential of it. But then the next morning, that excitement was over, and they go astray. And if we are to, and you can't change that, guys. You can't change that. Jim Rohn said it's a mystery. I wouldn't sign up for that class. Why would a guy invest $1,000 in a business and not run it and use it the next day? I don't know. It's a mystery. But what we can do as responsible marketers is provide environments that people can get these two things, where they can really understand the power of their products and they can really get a place to show up to. Whether you're providing that environment because you're a leader and you're providing those conference calls and events and so on, or whether you're promoting those environments, showing up yourself and promoting the conventions and the Super Saturdays and the Tuesday night training and all these things going on. Either way, we have to get people plugged in. Now, here's where I get into the tough talk. We're in the tail end of the show. And you guys know I'm very intimate with you. I know it's the morning. I know you're just waking up. I know you don't need me in your face, but I'm going to get in it anyway because I care about you. What happens when you don't have someone helping you and promoting you and petting you and so on and so forth? You do it anyway. My upline lived far away. They weren't there to pet me. My upline dropped out of the business. They weren't there to pet me. But their not being there never stopped me from showing up. Their not using those products never stopped me from using them. And if you, and it's funny because, yeah, maybe they did sign up the one that kept going. But notice how they're not here today to enjoy the rewards of it. This game is a game of you developing yourself. It's you against the world. Not in a bad way, in a great way. It's you against yourself, really. Will you follow through? Will you do what's necessary? Will you be the one that people always know will be there? Will the leaders of your company come to see you as indispensable and sow into you and train you and edify you? Or will you be the person that does it when they feel like it? Most people in this industry will sit and tell you that they have. I ask people all the time, how many years have you been in the industry when I'm speaking at large events? Next week I'm in Colorado. I'm excited about that. I say, how many people have more than 5 years in the industry? And they raise their hand. And how many people have more than 10 years in the industry or 2 years or whatever? But the reality is that they really don't have much more than like 30 days worth of experience. Because people jump, or they don't show up, or they don't plug in, or they're always, I'm on the product, I'm off the product, I'm on the product, I'm off the product. I did my 90-day plan, I didn't. Don't let that be you. You be the one that people look to. You be the one that is using that product. You be the one creating the stories and then helping others create the stories that propel your business forward. You be the one that's showing leadership. You be the one. I made a decision probably about 6 years ago that I was going to reach out to everybody and be that mentor that I wished I had found back then. It took me years to find mentorship. I have so much of it now. It's incredible, but it took me years. And I know that I was frustrated when I was coming down the road. And for me, I turned to cassette tapes. And I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on cassette tapes of the top people in the industry. And today, now, in this decade, we have the Home Business Radio Network for you. I'm here to cheer you on. I'm here to say you can do it. I'm here to tell you that you have the right to stand up. And I'm here to tell you that you only need to do a couple of simple things. If you'll just be diligent in those things, It will happen for you. Now, no fooling, no making believing, no cheating. Okay, people are like, I did it. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You and I both know what's really involved here. If you want to make a big income, you have to make a big effort. The universe rewards those that show they can handle the responsibility. Can you? It's called expanding your tent. It's when you stand up and work and expand your responsibility. Even ask for more responsibility at your company, at your program, in your business. I'm always looking for a way to take on more responsibility because more responsibility yields more income. Think about it in the corporate world, isn't that true? Higher up the corporate ladder you move, you have more responsibility, you make more money. Why should it be any different here? Use that common sense that was born into you. Use what you know. Use your consciousness. Guys, this summer is your time to fly. This summer is your time to sit down and get her done. And I am so excited to be here with you as you go on your journey. I'm excited to be a part of this incredible home business radio network. Please, I'm asking you today, if you got any value from this show, please go out and let people know about the network. Let your downline know, let your sideline know. Again, it's all generic. There's nothing here. There's no ads. There's nothing that will, distract your people or the people, that you work with. Go out and tweet it, Facebook it, put it on Dig, put it on everything else. Go spread the word. Spread the good news of the home business industry. Let people know that it is possible to create income from home, and let people know that there are alternatives to the chaos that's going on out there. We don't have to be victims. We can take full and complete control of our lives. So guys, this has been Diane Hochman. Again, you can find me at dianehochman.com. Send me out a tweet at Diane Hochman. Find me on Facebook. Let me know what you think. Ask me your questions. I'm here to serve you. And of course, go ahead and get your apps for your phone over at homebusinessradionetwork.com. And I want you to commit to taking us on the road with you. The Diane in the Hochman Show, Diane in the Hochman Show, Diane in the Morning Show, you can find every day. Please tune in, and we'll see you on the very next show. Take care.